guys, we're at our Modern Meadow remodel. We've been working on this project for almost 2 years. So we came in, basically took it down to the studs. I'm really excited to take you guys on the final tour of this home. The first thing I hope people notice when they walk through the door is you have this great view of kitchen, dining, great room. I think it's that feel that everybody wants when they walk in their home. Your whole family's in this space and you're all able to interact and be a part of whatever's going on. We did a lot of changes here, and the biggest change was the fireplace over this way. This fireplace had a ton of really heavy stone. The client didn't like it, so we knew we were taking that out. We wanted something cleaner, something pretty. I think we've achieved that. We still have the warmth with the wood, but we have the really pretty stone on the base of the fireplace, which you'll see throughout the home in a few other spaces. A lot of times in a great room, you'll find that it's more formal. In this space, we really wanted it to be more livable, more casual, neutral pieces, but we've added in a lot of texture. So you'll see nubby fabrics on the chairs, velvets, mohair, all of that gives that comfortable, livable feel. We actually kept all the windows in the house from the existing home, and these ones are especially awesome because they're so big and you can see out and see the views. But I love how they turned out. We took the trim off, so there's no casing. We painted them to match the walls, and I think they turned out really nice. You'll notice there is a lot of mood lighting in this house, which I really love personally, so you don't always have to keep on the super bright overhead lights. This floor lamp is one of my most favorite pieces. It's just such a pretty shape, and I love it too because it actually mimics the kitchen lighting, the pendant shape, and I think that's kind of fun. We're in the kitchen, the heart of the home, the best space in my opinion. I really love how this turned out because we've got a lot of different textures. We have the stone, we have some metal going on, cabinetry, the pretty woods. It's nice because it still feels open, very clean, very usable. So we knew we wanted to have some interest in the countertops. We didn't want to just go with a neutral white, nothing too clean, because we have a lot of countertops going on in here. We have 2 islands, and the original plan did have 2 islands as well. We wanted to keep that, but we wanted to make sure that it was interesting. So on this front island, we did a waterfall with a really pretty wood feature on the front overlapping. And I think it is just really fun to have something that's natural from the earth, but brings in so much interest. It's like a piece of art. The colors in this stone, you'll see kind of reflect in the colors of our fabrics in the great room, which I love, kind of coordinating that. This is called Blue Tahoe. It's a quartzite, which is a great material for a kitchen. Very durable, it's a natural stone, so you get that beautiful organic feel. The open shelving in this kitchen, I think, make it so beautiful. I love that we have this space to show some personality, add some color, pattern, and we don't have too much that it feels overwhelming to fill or that it feels too cluttery, but it just really adds something. For the backsplash in the kitchen, we chose this tile that has more of a Zalige handmade type feel. We wanted to keep that organic, natural feel that we have going throughout the rest of the home, and this gives us that in a really clean way because we've got it in a neutral color, but you get, again, that texture, that variation in depth that really adds to the home. This is one of my favorite parts of the kitchen. This is the bar area, and while it's a part of the kitchen, we wanted it to feel a little more special, a little bit different. So we added these metal cabinet fronts that are inset into the wood, and I think it's just so pretty to have that contrast of textures, the different materials. This is a place to showcase, your glassware, your stemware. You can put liquor in here, but it feels a little bit different than the rest of the kitchen cabinetry. I love the feel of this dining room. There's something about a round table that I just love. It's something where it could fit a lot of people around it. Everyone's kind of a part of the conversation. A round dining table is so fun for a lot of people. So we did a round dining table, but we also did a banquette. So on this side, if there's kids, grandkids, whatever, they can squeeze in and you can fit more people. We also did the chairs in a slip-covered material that you can easily take off and wash, but the relaxed feel of those just fits the house really well. The nice thing about the banquette at this dining table is because it's kind of pushed more towards the window wall, instead of having to pull out a chair and getting in the way of that wall, you have that banquette bench that you just kind of slide in like a booth at a restaurant. In the dining room, we did this built-in here for storage, and I love the way it turned out because we actually made it look more like a furniture piece. So you can see the leg detail feels more like a furniture piece. We decided to go for a different countertop than the rest of the kitchen so that it, again, kind of felt more furniture-like, a little bit different than the rest of the kitchen space. I love the way it turned out. Again, different handles, makes it a little more unique, a little more fun. And we're gonna add a great piece of art here. So we've got sconces that will flank that. In the library, we kind of went with a color drenching feel in here. So what we did is we painted all the walls, the ceiling, the trim, everything, all one shade. It's in Chiro Blue by Farrow & Ball, and it's such a pretty moody color. It brings a lot of interest and that depth that we needed in here. The library is like the space where I feel like you can have a more moody feel. This is her husband's office. It's gonna be a little more masculine. We wanted that moody feel. The sofa in here, the clients actually already had, so we wanted to use that, and that's actually what helped me pick the wall color because we wanted it to feel, you know, that monochromatic feel, and I think they turned out really pretty next to each other. So these coffee tables are really popular right now. We're seeing a lot of them, and I love them. They're really nice because we get kind of that Ottoman feel around the edges. So if you're sitting on the couch, you can put your feet up, but then you have this built-in inset tray that gives you a place to set a drink or, you know, have coffee table decor. So you'll notice in the library, we have the same materials as we do on the great room fireplace on this fireplace. We use the same stone, the same wood, but a little bit different design. But I think that helps to kind of keep the continuity. These are close to each other in the home. When the doors are open to the library, you see both of them, and I think it's a cool way to tie together. We're standing in the primary bedroom. This is one of my favorite spaces. It's so serene. It has such a calming, peaceful vibe, which is really what we're going for. My client had this picture that she had saved, and it was a Jenny Kane photograph. And it was beautiful, and we used that as our kind of inspiration of the feel of the room that we wanted. We used similar tones, colors to make this space have that feel. We kept the beams. These were original to the house. I think they bring in such warmth. They turned out amazing. We just had them like freshen up the stain, but they really add a ton of warmth in here. And then on the walls, we opted to go for plaster finish. And we also have a combed limestone on this fireplace. So again, opting for a lot of texture in here to bring in that feel. Something my client really wanted to have in her bedroom was a space to have a cup of coffee in the morning, read a book, very cozy. We made sure we had this space, and she said it's one of her favorite spaces in the house already. We're standing in the primary bath. We wanted to follow the vibes from the bedroom into the bathroom. So we wanted that serene, peaceful, calm feeling. We've done a lot of colors and textures that kind of give us that feel. Something I want to highlight is the cabinetry. The cabinetry and the stonework really just turned out so beautiful in here. You can see that the cabinetry looks like a furniture piece on the bottom with its feet. And we did this really pretty detail on the edge of the stone. It's this rolled edge, and it is just so stunning in here. Something I love in this bathroom is that we did a mix of metals, and that's something that I think people can be wary of, but it makes your room feel a lot more custom, and I love the look of it. So you can see we have polished nickel, and then we have brass, and I just think it brings so much interest, and it's really pretty. There's a detail in this shower window that we ended up keeping, and it's a frosted kind of mountain scene that offers like some privacy, but something visually interesting. And it's something that maybe isn't like on trend or we wouldn't be doing in a new house, but I think it's important to keep things like that. And especially if the client likes it, because it adds character and it's not as boring. It's just fun. Something we did in some of the main spaces of the house are these outlets, and they're called, I think you pronounce it bocce, but I love them because they don't take up so much of the stone. You don't see a huge box. It's as minimal as it gets, and I think that's really important when we're doing something like this type of a backsplash or something with interest, because you don't want to ruin all that beautiful stone. All right, we're in the powder bath on the main floor. This is such a fun space, mostly because of the wall covering. This is called Belladonna by Zach and Fox, and it's kind of like an art piece. It looks like a beautiful painting, and this space is also larger for a powder, and it would feel really bare to have white walls in here. So doing a pattern, doing something darker was just perfect for this space. Okay, these stairs were something that were pretty tricky to figure out. It took us a little bit extra more time. We had to reconfigure the layout. We wanted to make sure it was an organic flow, went with the curves of the house. It looked pretty, but also that it felt right when you were stepping on the steps and going up and down the stairs. We also had to make sure this was fixed because this bottom step actually went right in front of that door and blocked half the access. All right, we're in the media room downstairs. I want to talk about what we did here because it's maybe a little unconventional in that we had a fireplace and we took it out. And lots of people want to add a fireplace, and I'm all for a fireplace, but in here, it really didn't fit what the client wanted for their home, and it just didn't fit the space as well. So what we did is we took out the fireplace that was here. We also had this funny little built-in cabinet that was like recessed into the stone, like a little niche. It felt like it was too small for the wall. We also didn't have all of this glass here, so it was really dark in here. So the goal down here was to get more light in and make this more useful for their family, and a fireplace really wasn't what we needed down here. We did this big built-in media cabinet, big TV, and a place for them to relax, watch movies, but also in the daytime, have some light in and not feel like you're in a basement. I think the key to making a media room feel cozy but still look good is honestly the fabrics and the textures. If you look at this sofa, this fabric is just, ooh, it's so cozy. Like I wanna lay on this, cuddle up, but it looks so nice to see that texture. That's what makes you feel like it's inviting, it's cozy, it's comfortable, but the colors feel rich. I think that's the key. Off the media room, we have this little bar area and our game table. The goal was, again, kind of family oriented. We didn't want this to feel too formal. We didn't want it to be like a formal liquor bar. It was really meant for kids, for snacks, for movies, things like that. So we wanted a space where you could sit down and play a game, but you also have an area that you can go grab a snack. Open shelves are so fun because it gives you a chance to show some personality and add some color into your home, which I love. A lot of people don't want to have them in their kitchen because they're scared of having it become messy with everyday dishes or things like that. So a bar, I think, is a great spot to add them, or a media room or something like that, because you really don't need these necessarily for function, and you can add in color and interest. So I think you need to make sure you have color, you have things with height. This tiny lamp is my favorite part. It's a little rechargeable lamp, which we've been seeing tons of these lately. They're all the rage. I feel like everybody loves them, and I am one included. It's just so cute. It's got this crackly ceramic finish, and if you turn it on, it just adds a little mood lighting. All right, we're in the lower level guest suite. This is the next best room aside from the primary. I really love this room. Something that we did throughout the house was wallpaper. My client loved wallpaper. I love wallpaper. I love hearing people say they love wallpaper. But it was really important to put wallpaper, I think, in this room because it is so big. And we wanted to make it feel cozy and more grounded and not like a big wide open space. So it feels warmer, cozier, more comfortable to have this pattern throughout the room. So it might be something that feels scary at first, but you can see it's very minimal. It still feels neutral, but it just gives interest. Something we did throughout this house was mix patterns, and I'm really grateful that my client let me do that because it's something that I think turns out so amazing, but can be scary when you're looking at just fabric swatches, and it can feel like it will be overwhelming. But you can see here we've done pattern on the walls, pattern on the drapery, a pattern chair, but it adds so much interest. It's so much more fun. It's got character, and I think it turned out beautiful. All of our bedrooms down here, all of the guest rooms, they are all very different, have their own personality, but they really flow together. And I think something that helps with that is we've got kind of a theme of floral running throughout. We have floral pattern in different ways that make it feel cohesive, but we gave each room its own color palette, its own fabrics, its own unique design, but that kind of keeps it feeling cohesive. All right, we're in the guest suite bathroom. I love this bathroom. One of my favorite things about this bathroom is this wall tile we did. It's textured, it's got lines you can kind of see ribbed. It brings in a warmth and a coziness that we would be missing if we just had white drywall walls. It's also very functional. You have it around the tub, you're splashing, doesn't matter. Something else I really love about this bathroom is the floor tile. I love doing a small pattern on the entire bathroom floor. And I think it's something that people maybe feel iffy about doing because they're like, it's a big space, we need bigger size tile. And I do think that's pretty, but it adds so much texture, it adds so much more of a cozy feeling, honestly. And it's great because you don't slip because there's so many grout lines. We're in my favorite room of the house, the bunk room. I love this room so much. Okay, this room started based off the wallpaper. That's the starting point. This amazing wall covering is called Canopy by Schumacher. I love it. My client loved it. We were like, this is the vibe. This is where we're going. So we started with that and then brought in like obviously a lot of color fabrics and textures that work with that. But the bunks were something that were kind of tricky to figure out in here. We had to come up with a layout that worked in kind of an L-shaped room. It was a little bit non-traditional. We have a beam that runs across that we had to work around, and we wanted to add storage. So we added this wardrobe, which helped with the layout, but also is very functional so that they have a space to store clothes, suitcases, things like that. We also did storage in the bottom of the bunks so that they can put clothes or blankets or things in there. So we also added storage into the stairs, which is a great idea because you're gonna have to put those in anyway. It's nice, like you can store your sheets in here, you have more space. You can never have too much storage in a bunk room because you've got multiple people potentially sleeping in here. We wanted to make it feel fun and kid-friendly and exciting, and that was something that we don't always get to do in a bunk room. A lot of times people want a bunk room that is more neutral, could be for adults, could be for kids. This was like, the grandkids are gonna be in here. So we really focused on that, made it really fun, and I love that it has that pizzazz. And even as an adult, I wouldn't mind staying in here. It's nice because we still have this full-size bed here, which is easy to get in and out of and easy for an adult to stay in, but you still have, the funness of the twin bunks for kids. All right, so as I said, the wallpaper in here was like our starting point. We loved it, we were so excited, and then I found that it has a matching fabric and I got even more excited. And luckily my client was like, yes, I agree, let's use it. So we did it on some of the pillows you can see, which is so cool because it's the same, but it's just different because it's a different texture. And then we did it on the Roman shade here, which I love. It's such a pretty look. When you pull it down, stunning. Something I love to do in a bunk room is add some sort of cute decorative lighting that's also functional in each bunk space. So we did these sconces. I think they are cute, they are functional, and it's nice because they have a switch right on top. So you don't have to add a light switch and ruin the beautiful wallpaper. You can just reach over and use the switch and you don't have to have an additional thing in your wallpaper. If I could give advice to anyone wanting to do a full remodel of their home, I would say hire a designer and a great team because there are so many details that go into this kind of a project. We had so many details that we had to work out, and between all of the experts, I think it came out really well, but it's overwhelming if you're not in this industry and you're not used to it. So I think you definitely should hire the right people. Thanks for joining me on this home tour. I had so much fun with this project and I'm really excited that I'm able to share it with you guys. Comment below what your guys' favorite space was. We'd love to hear from you, and make sure you subscribe to our channel because we have a ton more amazing content coming up.